Hello and welcome to Bristol News. I'm Rachel. The United Kingdom has one of the worst winter death rates in Europe, even compared to much colder countries. So here at home in Bristol, the charity Age UK is urging older people and their families to make sure they protect themselves at this time of year when it really does get chilly. They've released some top tips on how to keep warm this winter. The heating's on, our blankets are out and the kettle's boiling more than ever. Winter's well and truly on our doorstep. Although the UK is not the coldest country in the world, we do in fact have one of the worst winter death rates in Europe.
The frightening thing that is in winter we have something like 43,000 excess deaths due to cold weather, and of those deaths 37,000 are people over 75. I think it is common. I mean, there's a lot of poor older people in our society, and particularly in Bristol as well, and even just heating your house to a reasonable temperature is something that some people will find very difficult to do. And the result of being cold are things like you're more likely to get respiratory problems, which can lead to death, heart attacks and strokes because of the cold weather. Again, that you're more likely to have higher blood pressure when you're cold, and therefore they lead to those sorts of dangers. So it's a real problem for us in Bristol.
The elderly are particularly vulnerable to cold temperatures, which often leads to serious health problems. On average, at least 25,000 older people in the UK die prematurely from cold-related illnesses each year. That's over 200 preventable deaths every day.
In the winter, people are breathing really cold air, and that cold air leads to if you've got problems with your breathing and your heart, then they're more likely to come to light when you're breathing very cold air. So that's why it's important to avoid breathing cold air. And you can do that by staying in your house and being nice and warm, but also when you go out you can do things like you can put a hat on that a lot of heat escapes through your head. You can put a scarf around your mouth and nose so that you're being insulated against some of that sort of cold air.
But why are Britain's winter death rates so high? Well, there's several reasons. Poorly insulated homes, expensive energy bills, and not wrapping up warm enough.
So one of the things that's important is that older people should stay warm all the way through winter, and their living room should be heated to something like 70 degrees. Having curtains and some sort of thermic insulation on the curtains are really helpful as well. Excluding drafts, those sorts of things are really important. And of course, if you've got a friend or a neighbour or somebody who can help you get those things together, then that's something that people can do.
So no matter what you're doing this Christmas, make sure you wrap up warm.